Welcome to Seen Heard, where people in Cornwall who've experienced homelessness share their stories. Through workshops leading to a live show in Truro, we've discovered brilliant creative talents, tapped into universal wisdom and heard difficult life stories, as well as forging new friendships and having lots of fun. This is Rhys's story. Please note this episode contains references to suicide and trauma and includes some strong language.
There's a certain element of fear. Vulnerable and fear, those are two things that we're very familiar with in our situation. My name is Rhys. I have many nicknames. Rhysy Roo, Jonesy, Dr. Jones, Baby Dragon. You can even add your own if you want.
That works then.
What things am I bringing into the world? I am very academic. I've got all my GCSEs, I've got an international baccalaureate, which is the equivalent of 7 A levels. I've got an honours degree in theatre, which I studied at Falmouth University. I have many hobbies, many skills, some normal, some not normal. I play piano. I'm a grade 7 classically trained musician. I had one of the highest marks in music GCSE in the country. I also am a circus performer. I can do fire tricks, I can fire juggle, I can spin fire, I can breathe fire, I can eat fire. I'm a magician. I love writing comedy, and I even write my own pantomimes. And I am a trained fighter as well. I am experienced in many different forms of martial arts, including Muay Thai, Kung Fu, Kempo Karate and ITF Taekwondo. I have been suspected of neurodivergence. It was one of the reasons I was medically discharged in the army. I know all the countries of the world, I know all the elements of a periodic table. I have an absolute love for dragons, sci-fi, and my spirit animal is Spyro the Dragon from the PlayStation 1 games. I am someone who's trying to find their place in the world, but it's really a mystery to me how there are certain things in life that I don't understand, and there are times where it works against me. There's a lot to the world about there. I mean, people do say it's cruel, some people say it's unkind, and it's true. I have rights, the LGBT song.
Brilliant.
I think there's a good way of saying that if you find that the world is cruel and unkind, then you're in a place where you don't belong. Because the place where you will belong, it will feel right. It will feel settled. You won't feel threatened, you won't feel on edge. And it's taken me a lot longer than a lot of people around me, but I will have a nice end to my adventure. I went into the military at the time, I had a lot of family problems. I didn't feel like I had a family because my parents divorced when I was still in college and we lost a family home. The divorce was a very nasty affair. My dad's mental health broke down. I stopped him from doing something stupid. When I joined the army, I was a lot better than I thought I was going to be. But I did find what I was looking for. I found a family, I found community, I found lifelong friends that I'm still in contact with to this very day. The only thing that really let me down in the military was my drill. Marching in time with everybody. I thought being a musician, I thought drill would be the best thing for me. But when you're trying to march in time with people who do not have time and a sense of rhythm, and you have to go to their sense of time, it threw me. I was in the army for a couple of years. The reason I had to leave was I was put into a rehabilitation platoon. It got to the point where I couldn't heal my leg properly, even though it was healing and I was ready to go back into troop. But there was a couple of incidents that happened in the rehabilitation platoon that affected me mentally. And then when I was on leave, something else happened that just threw me off completely. It was like there was an incident in the army where I nearly died. I got hypothermia and it wasn't clear if I was going to survive it. I actually heard the NCOs outside my hospital bed discussing about which officer to send to my next of kin to tell them I didn't make it. I spent all night fighting to stay alive and I pulled through. And I witnessed a close friend of mine take his own life. That night, I went into the toilet and I found his body. And it was something I felt guilty about for years. I felt like I could have done something. I felt like I could have saved him. When I was getting discharged from the army after the psychologist said that I was depressed, I was anxious, I suspected borderline personality disorder. So I couldn't leave military barracks because I had no home to go to. No one would take me back. So what I did was I applied for a live-in work. There was an entertainment manager position going at Woodford Bridge Country Club. And it had live-in. I could live in the hotel. And that's where the entertainment started. I was playing the piano in the hotel. The guests were loving it. I did little game shows and for the families. I was in my element. So I've got one called Withdraw, The Lie is Alive, Textbook Narcissistic.
Which one are you burning to share with?
Withdraw. I'll go Withdraw, clinging to a handhold. Any time that I've been in a home situation, I felt controlled, I felt manipulated. I didn't feel like it was a place where I could switch off or anything. In fact, sometimes I felt safer being out of home than in home. So, I mean, ever since as a kid, I didn't feel safe at home. I mean, it was like... That's why I used to do a lot of stuff. Well, I have a lot of skills, because that's how I used to escape from things and everything I went through. This is the first time I've actually belted it out. I've got Abbot tune in my head, but it's like I kind of whisper it sometimes. That's how I do it. My mind is ticking away like a countdown as I'm trying so hard not to let you down. Eggshells are all around me in a circle, knowing you overthink anything that's small. My mind is ticking away like a countdown as I'm afraid to be me when I'm in your house. Judge me and I take the blame for what you say. Boundaries, you cross every one of mine and that's okay. Just keep on spinning fire. It's a lot more powerful than I thought it was going to be, to be honest, because all the emotion that I put into it. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I can imagine there's a few people that have been through what I've been through and they can relate to that in some ways. I've always been homeless since leaving the army. I've either been in a living job or I've been sofa surfing between seasons. St. Petrok's were working on getting me sheltered accommodation, but it's a long waiting list. I was like 4 to 5 years. I was doing holiday park entertaining at different parks around the UK. And I thought if I save up enough money whilst working at holiday park, I could get myself a nice rented accommodation and probably could change career. It was supposed to be a temporary thing. However, with prices going up and wages for entertainers going down, it was not happening. And then I was on the streets. I was known in the homeless community for a few reasons. Some people knew me as the mystery piano player at the night church. So night church Penzance, they had this mystery piano player came in and it went viral locally. My rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody got 11,000 views, and then I came back, did a classical medley, and that got more reactions, and then I came back, did a 90s club medley. So people know me for my piano skills. Not many people knew about my Batman exploits, shall we say, but the people who did, it was spread around the homeless community, but a lot of people thought it was BS. I knew if I was going to be on the streets, I have to be safe, I have to be warm. A lot of people would find a doorway with a sleeping bag. No, we're going to do it like that. You're exposed, people can see you, you're at more of a risk of attack. So I had a black like skateboard armour on my chest, on my back, pads on my arms which had this mesh netting which connected it all, had a black hoodie underneath, had a paintball mask with these goggles, reflective goggles so people can't see my face, had these combat gloves which were indestructible, which means I could climb. If I needed to punch anything like glass in an emergency, I would go through and I wouldn't hurt myself. And I had these black steel toe cap boots. And it was an intimidating image. Not many people saw me. A few people did. They panicked. Especially when they just saw me run off and scour a building, get onto a rooftop. But yeah, I'm surprised I didn't end up in Cornwall live, to be honest, for that. And a weird thing is, they didn't think it was me. They thought it was somebody else. So if I ever wanted to be a superhero, like have a dual identity where I was like scouring rooftops and like, you know, decide to go down the vigilante route any time, I don't think many people will go into... Well, they will now. I'm speaking to you about this, but it's... The way I am, the difference between me and a lot of people that I've met in life is that I'm not judgmental. I don't like to judge others. I only judge a manifested action that is harmful. That's the only time I'm judgmental. If I see something that is blatantly designed to hurt someone, that is when I judge. That's when I say, no, you can't do that. But I find a lot of people will judge anything and everything, but what is worrying, especially with younger generations I'm finding, and with a lot of people that I have met and been acquainted with, is that some people will judge you for things you haven't done. And I find that really I'm sorry to say this like this, but I find that really fucked up. To really go authoritarian on that. It's this expected behaviour complex. And obviously, you can probably tell I've been on the receiving end of that complex. I find that to be the source of a lot of problems in life that I've seen so far. Yeah. Your status, their status, circumstance separates us. He wears a medal all the time, and mismatched clothes, hair's worse than mine. He's old, looks angry, he's lost at life. Keep the bus stop next to him, look at me, give me likes. Stop! Your status has been reported. Your status, their status. Circumstance separates us. There's this woman in church trying to sing. She cannot hold a tune to anything. Different colours in her hair, and her jumper's a vintage nightmare. Gonna record her song tonight, so people will laugh and give me likes. Stop! Your status has been reported. Comment. Her mother died last year, they sung together. The jumpers are warm, whatever the weather. It's how she grieves, it's how she copes. With a loss of life, then a loss of home. But she's so different from us, so it doesn't matter. Does it? Your status, their status, circumstance separates us.
Really great. Wow.
So I wanted to get a bit of social media, so I put status, stop, your status has been reported, comment, and that was a lot of thing, like. And those two people I've actually met. Those are actually real people I've written about. Before I went into the army, I was a different person. I was mischievous, joyful, very creative, happy. When I went into the army, a lot of my friends and people close to me perceived that was lost. And it changed how I viewed life, it changed how I viewed people, it changed my personality. With most of what you said, you've given me an idea of what things we could possibly add to the piece. When I first heard about the Seen Heard project at St. Petrock's, I was sceptical. What are we serving? Would we only be serving food though?
Well,
would there be other... Yeah, would there be other things accompanying the food?
What sort of things are you thinking?
Choices.
Ooh. Oh my god. Yeah.
But then I saw the pros. So I thought, I'll go to one session, see what it's about. That lost personality. Going to these sessions, I've got friends saying, you're back. You're happy again, you're mischievous. How is this possible? How is it that you're progressing in therapy? How is it that you're doing this? Because you hit rock bottom, you've got nothing, yet your personality's back. I mean, you're brilliant, buddy, because you're just giving me loads of ideas here. You are just, everything you're saying, I'm coming up with these. It's like, I think there's definitely going to be some more work with us. Like, we're definitely keeping contact after. Yeah, I think there's something, because you're bringing out the best of me here. This is brilliant.
There's a song right there.
Yeah. It made me creative again. It made me happy. It brought that real me back. And now I'm songwriting and creating things like there's no tomorrow. Not because I'm getting paid, but because I enjoy it. And it's me. And that's what the workshops have made me realise. This therapist that I found in talking therapies has done a lot for me. The way he spoke to me about my problems and the way he got me to question, like saying, right, you feel this way, I understand you feeling this way, people would feel this way, it's okay to feel this way, but why are you feeling this way? Why are you feeling... And when you start to question your feelings, they make it easier to manage. And you start to accept things a lot more. It says it's okay to feel this way, but it is in the past. It's alright to feel hurt about the past because it shows you're caring, you're a good person. And by accepting your past, if you're afraid of those things happening again, then you prepare for your future. You make a game plan just in case you find yourself in that exact situation, saying, okay, if you're in that situation again, what are you going to do about it? Because you've got that pre-knowledge now. If you're in that situation again, you can deal with it. Yeah, I'm being discharged tomorrow from therapy. And I don't think the PTSD is going to be an issue going forward. Now when these thoughts go in my head, if I'm not having a panic attack, I can ride a panic attack out now. What I do is I put myself into a place of comfort. When I'm in a place of comfort and I said it's okay to be feeling like this, it'll go in a bit, it goes. But yeah, when those thoughts come into my head now, I'm just like, really? No, I've got better things to do. So yeah, the therapy's worked. I've overcome it. And going forward, I'm going to do my entertainment show again, but also it's going to be a side hustle going back into entertainment. I'm going to have 2 other points of income. There are two careers that I'm pursuing. One is of teaching, and another one is I'm keeping a secret. By doing this, and it's something I'm returning to, it will show not only myself but everybody else that there is a way to conquer your demons. But when I'm successful and I'm in that position, I'm just going to post an update and saying I'm back.
Seen Heard is a part of the Hello Stranger programme created by Wildworks, supported by the Good Growth Fund in partnership with St Petrox. Share your thoughts on Instagram or Twitter tagging @wild_works or Wildworks Theatre on Facebook using the hashtag #SeenHeard.
This project has been led by Sarah Levinsky and Vicky Abbot, and the audio has been produced by me, Karen Pirie. Music is by Rhys Jones and Julie Macara. For more information about this project, go to the Seen Heard page at wildworks.org.uk.